Catherine Aragon here to talk about how you separate free content from paid. Essentially, what do you hold back and what do you gate, and how do you make that decision? See, this is a question that's been asked for as long as people have been writing books and writing articles. I mean, we're not even talking about online. If you had an information business of any type, you had to answer these types of questions. What do you gate? Do you lower the quality of your free content in order to raise the value of your your gated content? That's like asking, do you raise the price of your items in the store when you run a sale? It's essentially the same kind of thinking, and yet that's a question people are asking. And what's a strategy for making those decisions? So let's dig in. About a year ago, I wrote an article for Unbalanced about gated content. You can go to their blog and look that up if you like. But one of the people who I interviewed was Jim Mickelson, who is a VP of Marketing at GKIC, and I loved the information he gave me. And he started with this concept of how available is information, because basically no one's going to pay for information that's readily available. So that's a major driver in whether or not you gate something. If it's a news item and it's on every single news channel, why would you gate it? It's already freely available. So the stuff that you ought to be gating has to have these four qualities to it. It's got to be unique. It's got to be something that is not available everywhere else. It has to have a distinctive voice or perspective. So it makes people feel like it's valuable enough to pay for it. And it's compelling enough to overcome any objections they may have, either of giving you their email or of giving you their hard-won cash. So this is a list. I won't go into detail on that. But I just took this directly from his answer to me. You have to consider the cost. You have to consider the fact that you're having to sell it. Is that going to turn people off? Things like the opt-in form. If the opt-in form is too complicated or wrong, you're going to lose people. They're not going to sign up. Same thing. If they have to enter a credit card, it better be high value. And then, of course, you've got things like privacy policies and opt-in laws that you have to think about. But of all these, the most important thing for you to think about is your strategic plan. And this is where I think most people fall apart when it comes to gated content. They don't actually have enough of a plan to make that decision. Now, I was talking with another content marketer today, and he told me that he has worked with some people whose entire content strategy was, we want to create content that helps people be more productive. That's not good enough, folks. You need to know the value proposition of each area of your content strategy. So your blog may actually have a different value proposition than your membership areas. Your lead generation content, even though it's free, will have a different value proposition than your blog. And it'll probably be slightly different than some of your paid products, although a lead magnet may be similar because it's leading into a paid product. But you need to know this. You need to have already decided, what value am I giving with this content? And is it worth paying for? And if so, am I actually delivering on the promise? Now, in that discussion I had this afternoon, this message came up. 85% of what I know I share in the blog. The rest is reserved for Area 51. It sounds like a nice marketing message, right? Well, he actually stopped me on that. And he says, I don't mean to be offensive, but do you really think about each idea and say, well, this is free while this is for members? And in fact, I do, and for the reasons we just talked about. Every area on my website has a different focus. The value proposition is what I'm looking at, not the quality of the idea. So my blog is more general content marketing. It's not the super advanced stuff. It's the stuff the everyday content marketer or people trying to learn content marketing are asking. So I answer questions, I review tools, and I discuss trends. I share ideas that they need to be thinking about. Now, I take that up a notch in Area 51 because there I'm actually working with people who are trying to take their content marketing to another level. To, if you want to say it like this, they're creating a content marketing machine. They're looking for how to be more effective, how to turn that into conversions, how to get things done more quickly so they can run their business while still being effective. So the audience in Area 51 is either running that machine or they're contributing to it. And I'm not going to put a general low, something that belongs on my blog, I'm not going to give to them, and vice versa. Now, basic training, which is another membership area, although it's related to the others, it actually has a very different value proposition. Here's where I help writers and other entrepreneurs who are trying to build their business. So maybe it's a content marketer who's trying to get their website built and figure out how to market their services. Maybe it's a business, they're not ready for Area 51, but they're still looking to be effective. They're building that business and they want strategies that will help them use content and use other marketing areas in order to build their business. That's basic training. So as you can see, each idea I come up with is going to fit in one of those three areas. But it's not a question of the quality of the idea. It's a matter of which value proposition am I meeting. And here's what you need to think of. It's not a matter of quality. Whether you put something free or gated, I hope everything you produce is high quality. The difference is the value proposition. Every area of your content marketing machine has a different objective. So provide the value that you have promised in each of those areas. Create native content that meets the needs of the people in that channel. And what's valuable to one audience may not be to another because they come to that channel for different things. That's how you make the decision. Think in terms of value, not the level of quality. You can hold things back if you want, but more than likely you're holding things back so as not to complicate the solutions you're providing, not so as to frustrate them into paying for something that's been gated. Never frustrate your users. If you promise information, share it. Otherwise, you're just going to drive them away. And that's what I want to share with you. My quick tip today on how to know what to gate and how to gate it. Thanks for listening.